Hello everyone, welcome back to my FPL channel. My name is FPL Roxas, and today I'll be sharing my Gameweek 2 team selection. Feel free to like and subscribe if you found my video enjoyable. Now let's get to my team selection. First, let's look at my Gameweek 1 team performance. The team ended up with 75 points overall, which makes me end up with an overall rank of 1.6 million. It wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. Half of the team performed while the other half didn't. So Onana really got away with a lot after the controversial last minute decision of no penalty. That allowed United to get away with the 1-0 win, which is very narrow. He was great as I expected, putting up 6 saves and getting a bonus point along with it. For my defense, Chilwell and Stupinian were playing far forward as I expected, and both got assists in their respective games. Gabriel was the letdown of the team as he was dropped to the bench for the starting game of the season. But I assume that it is a tactical change from Arteta as Arsenal deployed a somewhat 3-2-2-3 formation, and I don't think he was part of that setup. Saka was the only midfielder I had which returned. He scored a goal and brought the maximum bonus points. While my United players, they really didn't perform that well as they got outplayed like in all phases of the game during most of the match against Wolves. However, they still got a clean sheet, so they both got an extra point, totaling like 3 each. So that's not bad. Eze had a lot of shots during his game against Sheffield and probably was unlucky not to get a goal. While Jota, on the other hand, was, I admit, a failed differential. I thought that he would have made a proper impact, judging from preseason. He looked poor throughout that game against Chelsea, and he picked up a knock towards the end of the first half. And then he eventually got subbed off like during the 60th minute. Aston Villa got trashed by Newcastle, but Watkins was the assister for their only goal in that game. And then we have Haaland, nothing much to be said about him. Well, he scored 2 goals, got maximum bonus points. I think we all expected that. For the bench, no one really stood out. Turner started for Forest. Mubama didn't play. Bulldog did decently during the loss. And Kabore did as well, but got a yellow. Alright, let's move on to my team selection for Game Week 2. So the team has increased in value by 0.3 to which totals to 99.3. And that's owing to Chilwell, Stupinian and Saka rate like increasing in price recently. So in terms of my plans, my initial plan was to save my free transfers so that I have 2 free transfers for Game Week 3. But they don't always go as you expect, those plans. So one thing I did this week was make an early transfer, which I will explain further when I get to the midfield. So starting in goal, I chose Matt Turner. This is pretty much one of those weeks where my main goalkeeper has a difficult fixture, while the sub gets to play one of the arguably weaker team in the league, which is Matt Turner against Sheffield. And Onana will be up against a new and offensive Tottenham team. And I don't think they'll be able to keep a clean sheet in that game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I don't think any of the teams are going to get a clean sheet between United and Tottenham. So Forest plays at home, which might be a plus, and I'm hoping that they can finish the game with a clean sheet. That's why I'm starting Matt Turner. So for defense, I chose the same lineup as the previous week. Chilwell, Gabriel, and Stupinian. Even though they've got away fixtures, they're still pretty decent opponents for the week. So for Chilwell and Stupinian, I think they're just gonna start for my team for the next few game weeks as Chelsea and Brighton have quite an easy fixture run at the moment. So for Gabriel, I had no other choice in keeping him. Like people were saying, you could replace him for like Saliba or like someone else maybe. Reece James, I'll agree to Reece James. But I think it was just a change in tactic for the first game. It shouldn't be like a surprise. I don't think he will be benched that much. this season, possibly. Like Julian Timber just got an ACL injury. I don't think Mikel Arteta would be trying that new formation again anytime soon, since they don't have that many defenders that they could rely on. And Gabriel has started most of the games last season, and to not see him start games this season would be like, I won't believe that. I think he's gonna starting games soon, and it's probably gonna start from this Crystal Palace game. Let's go to midfield. So what everyone's trying to see is my transfer. So I transferred out Jota to Luis Diaz. Jota really underperformed, and he got a minor knock during the opening game against Chelsea. So I was really concerned with his availability for the next game, which is against an easy opponent, which is Bournemouth at home at Anfield. Last year, like Liverpool trashed them 9-0 when they played at home, and that was when Luis Diaz scored a brace. I think we could see a similar game to that. I think Luis Diaz could simulate that performance or perform even better. Like people ask why take out Jota, why make a transfer now? Um, he might not be injured or like he might start the game against Bournemouth. That is totally true, but I'm willing to take that risk as I think that Luis Diaz will make a big impact, like bigger than Jota at the moment, judging from the last game against Chelsea. Like Luis Diaz and Salah were the main goal scoring threats for Liverpool. They're both creating big chances for each other throughout the game until they got subbed out. And I think Liverpool's gonna change things up in terms of the lineup for this game against Bournemouth. And I think Jota's gonna get benched after that performance from the first game. So yeah, that's why I made this transfer this week. For my other midfielders, like for Saka, I think he's gonna be as good as usual. For Bruno and Rashford, I'll be sticking my vice captain on Rashford. So they did underperform for their win against Wolves. They didn't do anything, not much. Like Rashford missed a few chances. But one thing to keep in mind is that Tottenham is a team with a different playstyle now. They're playing quite high, very attacking. And one thing United can do is counterattacks, transitions. They've scored a lot for the past few seasons through those scenarios, and I think something like that could happen this game. And not just once, maybe a few times. And in those chances, I think Marcus Rashford could be scoring one of those goals. So for Eze, as I said before, he was quite unlucky not to score after registering quite a lot of shots during the game. Well, with him being on set pieces and penalties, I still think he has a good chance to return this week. So I of course made Holland my captain. Even with a tougher opponent like Newcastle, it is difficult to give the armband to someone else other than him. During their last two meetings last season, he had a goal for one game and an assist on the other game. So I think it is quite safe to keep the captaincy on him. For Watkins, he also has a great record against Everton. Last season, he had a goal and two assists during the two matches they played last season. So I think this team is pretty solid. For my bench, like the order changed a bit from last week, as Onana is now benched due to the away game against Spurs. Baldock being the first sub, just because he's the most nailed out of all of my players in the bench. I think he plays the most minutes out of Kabore and Mubaba, especially with Kabore having a blank game week this week, and Mubaba. I don't think he'll be playing anytime soon. Yeah, so with that said, I have 1 million in the bank. So after the Luis Diaz transfer, my team value should be going up soon, as it is expected that he's going to increase in price by zero point 0.1. So I think my team value is going to be 99.4 soon. Yes. So with the 1 million in the bank, I'll be able to use that money in the coming weeks to upgrade positions or even deal with price changes from players I want to bring in. Like if a player like Alexander Isak goes up again, I'm still able to afford him if I want to bring him in. Or like if Nicholas Jackson goes up in price, something like that. So yeah, it is always nice to have a bit more money in the bank, so you have a little bit more flexibility in making your transfers. With the team selection out of the way, good luck to everyone for Gameweek 2. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to be updated on my latest uploads. I'll be uploading every week, so stay tuned. Leave a comment if you'd like, and thanks for watching the video.